The area track meet brings together the best of District 3 and District 4. Only the top 4 finishers in each event move on, earning a spot at regionals in Lubbock, where a chance at the state meet awaits. It's not just about talent anymore, it's about toughness. They've been Greenwood's throwing anchors all season. Jaden Colbert and Angel Smith, 2 names you've heard before, 2 athletes who always show up when it matters. At the area meet, they delivered again. Angel Smith earned 3rd place in both shot and discus, 35 feet 2.5 inches in the shot and 108 feet in the disc, qualifying for regionals in both. Jaden Colbert took 1st place in the shot put with a massive throw of 53 feet 8.5 inches. Currently the best mark in the entire region, and followed it up with 2nd place in discus at 145 feet 9 inches. 2 athletes, 4 events, and a trip to Lubbock. The dynamic duo is still delivering.
53.8 wasn't an accident. It was completely intentional, and I've thrown way further.
Colbert performed really well at area. He threw his season best 53.8, maybe 53.8 1/4 at area, and he got 1st. And then he had some really good throws in the discus. They were sector fouls, and so those throws probably would have put him in 1st, but he ended up in 2nd behind the kid from Canyon. And so it was a good day for him because the goal going into area for all of us was to survive and advance to the next round.
This is just a start. I'm going for gold in both events when we get to Lubbock.
We've been pushing each other all season, and now we're both going to regionals.
Angel knew going into area that she had to compete. She knew that doing what she was capable of in the past was not going to be good enough. She had to step up her game. And she did that the week leading in with footwork, drastically focusing on fundamentals, footwork over and over and over again. And it paid off when it came to area. She had 2 major PRs.
It's not about perfect throws, it's about showing up when it counts.
Some athletes shine when it's easy. Dylan Payton shines when it counts. At area, he launched a 21-foot, 7 3/4 inch jump, good enough for 2nd place in a ticket to regionals. That mark currently ranks 5th in the region. With one more big jump, state isn't just a dream, it's within reach.
I feel like the pressure doesn't shake me, it just sharpens me.
Dylan came out, and his long jump performance was pretty good. It was, I don't know, his 2nd or 3rd jump. He jumped 21.7 1/2, and he was in 1st for a while until the kid from Randall, he was just a matter of time before he hit a big one, and he jumped 23 or something. I don't know. He's an outstanding long jumper. And so Dylan ended up 2nd and didn't even have to take all of his jumps, so that was good. So we kind of saved his legs a little bit, but it was a good day for Dylan in long jump.
I'm not done yet. One more jump, one more meet, and then state.
There's so much that can be said about Dylan. He's one of the hardest working kids that I've had. He's a true competitor, and he's going to do anything that you ask him to do. One of the toughest challenges that we had was when we went to wall. He ended up getting 3rd place there with the jump of 22 feet. But I think that helped him. He won district, he got 1st. At area, he ended up 2nd with a 21 feet 7 3/4 inch jump. And looking forward to regionals, I think he's going to have himself a day. There are some competitors that are jumping 23 feet. So he's going to have some competition, but Dylan's he's not going to turn down the competition, and so he's going to do everything that he can to give himself a shot. That's something that we talk about, just give yourself a shot, right? Survive and advance. And so hopefully at regionals he jumps well, or gives himself a chance to get to the finals, and hopefully, if it's in our favor, gets a jump that's well enough to get him to state.
The sprint relays are won in the details. explosive starts, clean handoffs, fearless finishes. For the Rangerettes 4x1 squad, it all came together. Ava McIntyre, Sydney Click, Talani Weeks, and Addison Adame ran a blistering 48.83, shattering the school record and punching their ticket to regionals.
We knew that we were fast and the record wasn't really on our mind. We just wanted to compete, but the record was just really the cherry on top.
We trusted each other from the first exchange to the last. It was our chemistry that made this race special.
After I got that last handoff, everything seemed to click.
Every handoff hit clean. We weren't chasing the clock, we were chasing each other, and it paid off.
4x1 had to increase our speed with our handoffs. We had been playing it safe up until area, and we knew this was the time. We had to work on handoffs, make them cleaner, make them more efficient, and not let that baton slow down. When the girls did that, they were able to set a school record and surprise them, I think, with how fast they were able to go.
Regionals is next, and we're not done making history.
So now moving forward, we have confidence, and now we have momentum too.
It felt great to win. Now we're ready to prove that it wasn't a fluke.
It wasn't the peak, it was just our start.
For the boys' sprint relay, fractions of a second separated contenders from champions. Greenwood's 4x1 team, Hayden McNutt, Mason Lee, Caden Alford, and Nathaniel Romero clocked a 42.78 at the area meet. That was good enough for third, just 0.08 of a second behind Canyon. And now the rematch is set for regionals.
We were right there. With the clean start, we could have had him. We were just there by one more step, we could have had him. We've watched that race back 100 times. We know where we can get better.
So in the 4x1, we ain't gonna settle for fourth place. We're coming from Canyon, and we're gonna go for anyone else who's up in front of us. We're going for the top.
You know, we lost by a tiny margin, and it's personal now, and we want that get back.
So I was really nervous about the 4x1 coming in. The other district had some 4x1s that had put down some really good times, and you know, we still needed to get faster. And really, basically, we stayed about the same, but we were our handoffs were pretty smooth, and the third and fourth exchange helped us a lot. We ended up in third, and I think, you know, just got passed in the last little 50 meters maybe by Canyon. So we're gonna have to figure that out. But I think that obviously we can hopefully still go faster and help ourselves. The goal for that group, you know, going forward is to advance to the finals at regionals, and so they've achieved their goal so far.
We're locked in for regionals, and we're ready to run our best race. Now the goal is finals, and this time we're going to change the finishing order.
This team, we really got the speed. It's just time for us to put that speed in that, executing the plan.
You know, I think one thing about this team that really makes it special is that we believe in everyone. Every single one, we believe we can get the job done.
Some victories don't show up on the stopwatch. For Jackson Heiser, just getting to this starting line was already a win. After years of injuries cutting her seasons short, she finally had her moment. With a time of 16:07, she took third place in the 100-meter hurdles, earning an area medal and a spot at a regionals.
After all this time, I crossed the finish line healthy and moving on.
Jackson has worked really hard to overcome her injuries, to overcome the pain she knows she's going to experience when she comes out of those blocks. And she was able to do that. Beating competitors that she hasn't beat before made her a joy to see.
Regionals is next, and I'm chasing a 15-something.
The 110 hurdles are over in seconds, but they demand a season's worth of precision. Kasen Brooks ran a 15:16 at area, earning fourth place in the final qualifying spot to regionals. Now, with momentum on his side, he's chasing two things: a spot in the regional finals and a time that starts with a 14.
15.16 got me in. Now I want to be in the 14s. You know, I want to be in finals.
So the 110s was tough because I was hoping that Kasen and Dakota would both be able to qualify and move forward, but Dakota had kind of a bad race, and Kasen, he ran a pretty good race, and so Kasen's time was good enough to get him, I believe he got third, and then qualified him for the regional meet. And he's sitting in a pretty good spot going in the regional meet. So, you know, anything can happen in the 110 hurdle. So I'm really happy with Kasen, and I feel bad for Dakota because he had a great season.
You know, I need a clean race, clean mind. That's how I'm gonna break through.
30 minutes before the Rangerettes 4x200 meter relay, disaster nearly struck. Sydney Click's leg began to tighten, and the team had a decision to make. Alternate Kira Humphreys stepped up without hesitation, and what followed was one of the gutsiest performances of the night. Ava McIntyre, Kira Humphreys, Kalani Weeks, and Addison Adame ran 1:44.85, breaking the second school record of the night and securing their spot at regionals.
It could have rattled us, but we stayed locked in and we ran our race.
I just told myself, don't overthink it and compete. Kira stepped in and crushed it, and we didn't skip a beat.
We had her back and she had ours, and that's what made it work.
The 4x2 was dramatic, to say the least. Going in, we lost Sydney Click just a couple minutes before the race started. We put Kira Humphreys in there, and she stepped in flawlessly. She did great. And the team, I think, they embraced her. They did not count themselves out. They went after it. Leg by leg, they increased their speed, and we were able to set another school record.
2 school records in one night, and we're not finished.
I was ready when the team needed me, and I'm ready for regionals. This group has chemistry, and we're not slowing down.
We proved that we can adapt and still dominate.
The girls' 4x2 had just set the tone with a school record, and the boys answered with a statement of their own. Dylan Payton, Andrick Rodriguez, Caden Alford, and Keith Garcia ran a 1:28.29, earning gold at the area meet and posting the fastest time in Region 1.
This relay knows how to race when the pressure's high.
In the 4x2, we've been building towards this exact moment all year round.
I mean, we didn't just come to area to qualify. We came here to win as a team, and you know, beat the competition.
The 4x2 was a big race for us. I think because, you know, we've been pushed by Fort Stockton a lot this year. You know, we lost to Wall, and so I just didn't know how we were going to stack up against teams that we hadn't seen. And everybody ran really well. We put a new guy on the 4x2, and Keith, he kind of took off a little bit early, but he didn't freak out. He got the baton, and then he ran well. And Andrick finished the race for us, and we ran a really good time. We're just off of the school record, and we got first. So that was the big thing. We got first in that relay, and found out, you know, a little bit about what we're made of with a new guy on the relay. So I was very happy with the way that those guys ran.
We're not just aiming for finals, we're there for the title.
But the job's not done. Regionals is next, and we're coming.
We got the fastest time now. Going to regionals 4x2, just keep that speed and don't let no one catch us.
I mean, our relay teams, we're unstoppable, you know. Feel like we can go all the way, make it. And it all depends on our dedication and our focus to the sport.
It's been back and forth all season, teammates pushing each other week after week. At area, Kasen Brooks and Andrick Rodriguez both broke the 50-second barrier for the first time. Kasen at 49.46, Andrick at 49.40. They shattered their own school record in the process, and still they weren't alone. Canyon edged them out, but this was one of the fastest 400-meter fields in Texas. In fact, heading into regionals, the top 4 times in the entire region all came from this race.
You know, it's no secret that me and Andrick have been pushing each other all year long. You know, this was just our best race yet.
And so the Open 400 was going to be a test for us to see, you know, what we could do. And I feel like we did really well. Both guys, both of them broke the school record. You know, the school record has just fallen and fallen and fallen this year. And they both broke the school record. Andrick was a little bit faster than Kasen, so Andrick currently holds the school record at 49.4. And I think in the Open 400 for a freshman, that's pretty phenomenal. So I was really happy with their performance, and they both qualified, you know, going forward. And so I'm just, I couldn't be happier for those guys.
We finally broke the record, and we feel like there's more in the tank.
You know, it's not just about getting finals and regionals, it's about going 48 now.
The 300 hurdles don't leave room for error, and at area, the margin for victory was razor thin. Dylan Payton went head-to-head with the top hurdler from Dumas in one of the tightest finishes of the night. When the dust settled, Payton crossed the line just 0.07 of a second ahead, earning the gold medal in the top seed heading into regionals.
I saw him coming, and I just hit another gear. I wasn't going to let him win.
300 hurdles was another big one for us. I was hoping that Carrillo was gonna run his best race, and he actually did run a really good race. He ended up in, I think, 5th, which was just outside of contention to qualify. Of course, Dylan Payton remained undefeated on the year, and he's having a little bit of trouble on the hurdles coming on the straightaway, and he kind of let the kid from Dumas creep up on him, and you know, we got to get Dylan fixed going forward, but I'm really happy with the way that race turned out for us as well.
Now I've got the top time, and I plan on keeping it.
Kaylani Weeks had already helped 2 relays qualify for regionals, but in the Open 200, she ran solo and still ran away with gold. Her time of 25:29 earned first place at area and currently ranks 5th in the region. A quiet competitor with serious speed.
I just focused on my lane and my race.
Before Kaylani's 200, we were stressing. She had always come out of our blocks, the blocks that we take to each and every track meet. But when it came to her 200, our blocks were missing. She had to use the blocks that were just available. But I think that helped her in a way. She didn't really focus on her race at all. She focused on her blocks, and she was able to get out to a fast start and just compete. And that's what Kaylani does well. She competes.
I'm excited and I'm ready to run again.
All year long, this has been the event, the boys 4x400 meter relay, where everything we've been building toward would be tested. They said they needed a 3:19 to compete. They ran a 3:18.8, a new school record, 3rd place in area, 3rd place in the region, and yet just 3rd place. Canyon Dumas crossed just ahead, but this race wasn't a loss, it was proof. The next fastest time in the region is over 5 seconds behind. Greenwood belongs. Now the goal is simple: make the finals, beat Canyon or Dumas, or both, and punch their ticket to state.
We gave it everything, and the time speaks for itself.
You know, we finally broke that 3:19, but you know, we're just not satisfied yet.
You know, 4x4, you know, the best show, or the best race of the show. We're right there with Canyon and Dumas, and it's one more race and we can try to get the win over them.
We're going to regionals to take one of those state shots.
I may not be on the track, but I'm still in this fight with them. We're still chasing state.
Finally, the 4x4. You know, we knew that we were going to have to run fast and get better. The goal that I had set for the guys and posted in everybody's locker was 3:18. We had to go 3:18 at this meet, and it didn't matter what the other teams did, but 3:18 was our goal for the week, and we achieved that goal. We ran 3:18.8, and we did get 3rd, you know, but we're just behind those other 2 schools, Dumas and Canyon. And I think with some things that we're gonna do to help ourselves at the regional meet and save some legs and move some people around, I think that we can go even faster. You know, we all have goals that we've set, and they know what they are. I've posted the times for the 4x4, 4x2, and 4x1 everywhere in the field house so that they can see the times that are expected and that we need every day when they walk in the field house. They see them all over the place, so subconsciously, hopefully that will help them run well and achieve the goals that we have.
Next time we line up, we're not chasing, we're coming to win.
You know, regional finals, podium, state, that's our mindset.
You know, as the season winds down, this is the last leg and we're putting everything into it.
3:18 got us here, but we're not done.
They've carried the baton this far, now it's about finishing the race.
You know, going from district to area was tough. We had to refocus and recalibrate, and I went into the area meet and I just made sure that everybody knew that area championship would be great, but you know, the whole goal is to survive in advance. You got to get to regionals to have a shot to go to state. So everybody did well, you know, everybody did what I asked them to do. Everybody ran hard, and I think that we set ourselves up good for regionals. I'm really excited about what's going to happen this week at regionals. I'm honestly pretty nervous, and I think that the potential that we have there is great. This is the second year in a row that we've had all 3 of our relays make it to regionals. You know, you look around, there's just not that many schools that can bring all 3 of their relays to regionals, and all 3 relays that actually have the potential to, you know, do something well. So I'm excited for our guys. I'm excited for what things look like in the future, and I'm really happy with everything, the way everything's gone this season. But you know, we still have work to be done, and I'm hoping that everybody can focus and everybody knows what the goal is. And so as long as we're all on the same page, I think that we're going to have great success, and whatever that looks like. But I'm very happy with our group of guys this season. You know, I'm very blessed to be able to coach these guys here at Greenwood.
Our area meet was great. We set school records that we didn't even think we were going to be able to do, but we did that with teamwork, by staying together, by working together when trials came. The girls had each other's backs when they needed it the most. They were able to support each other when people went down with injuries. They were able to help motivate each other when the nerves sprung up. And we were able to get 2 school records. I believe it was an overall win for not only the girls that were there, but our track program. And it will help us going forward into the regional meet.
The road to regionals is paved in effort, belief, and grit. For athletes of Greenwood, the area meet wasn't a finish line. It was just the next checkpoint. The bar has been raised. The goals are clear. And now it's time to run for something bigger.